Boom. What's good, everybody? It's your boy OG Benjamin back with another video, right? So in the last video, I told y'all I was gonna talk about spiritual attacks that I received like literally as soon as I got baptized, right? Which is pretty crazy, right? You'll see me looking down at my list every now and again. So let's go. All right, so in the beginning, I told y'all like my preference is like no specific church. I don't have a problem going to certain churches or whatever, but my thing is like no specific church. So I'm non-denominational, right? Anywho, so I met some individuals who drove 4 or 5 hours or whatever it was to come and baptize me, so I can start this walk with the Lord or whatever. And like the very next day, after like this is like early morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, the very next day, like I'm chilling, right? And then all of a sudden I just wake up out of my sleep, like coughing, just coughing or whatever, thinking nothing of it, of course, and just coughing. And then upon like researching, I find like when like demonic energies or entities, whatever you want to call it, are being exercised out of your body, like that's one of the things. You cough a lot, you'll spit a lot or whatever. Y'all don't believe me, look that up yourselves, but yeah, so in my dream I'm with my homie, John Malcolm. We went somewhere, and then like we went to the back of his trunk, and he had gotten had like 2-3 bags from my son, that I guess he bought him some stuff. And then out of nowhere, I just hear the word Gilgal. I'm like, what? Gilgal? Like, what does that even mean? You feel me? So when I wake up, I leave, I come back, and I'm like, all right, let me look into that. And lo and behold, now mind you, this is coming from a person who knew about the Bible but never really like explored the Bible, for themselves or whatever. So yeah, it was quite shocking when I actually saw Gilgal in the Bible. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's very crazy. Whatever. So from there, I just started writing these things down. So, and I think that's in the story of King Saul. Like if you look into that, you'll see, somewhere in there you'll see the mention of Gilgal in a couple of the places in the Bible. After that, in my dream space, I'm in my living room, right? I'm walking into my living room, and then as I get like right at the threshold of the living room, I see somebody with their back turned toward me. Well, yeah, their back towards me, and I think it's my cousin. And I'm like, oh, what's up? Like, and then he turns around, his face is nothing but darkness. He got on a hoodie, and he says, oh, you should get a strap. Like, in kind of like a, weird demonic voice or whatever. And he had like 2 red slits for eyes. And I remember myself like just saying, yo, Lucifer, like get out of here, you feel me? Like dip out of my house, bro, for it, So woke up from that dream. I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is like an ongoing thing, right? Let me see. So another time, minding my business, like sleep, and then in the dream space, I'm in my bed, in my room, right? Because the spiritual is more real than the physical. All right, so instantly I see this old lady, like she's rolling in her wheelchair, coming into the room and like, rolling over toward me. I'm like, what? Like, why is this old lady in my room, But so anyways, I'm like, all right, B, whatever. She comes to the side of the bed and she's just looking at me. She's just looking at me like, and I'm like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Like, are you okay? You know? And she instantly gets crazy. Ah, are you okay? Are you okay? Ah, like just, you know, repeating what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, time to wake up. Time to wake up, bro. Cause yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. You feel me? Um, Another instance was I had, I don't know, I had the vibe they was like African, right? Like two dudes, like one was like literally sitting on the edge of my bed, like looking over at me, like his face is in my face like that, and he's just looking at me. You feel me? So I'm like, I open my eyes like in the dream. I'm looking at him like, yo, you feel me? Like, yo, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know? So I start chasing him, and then I realized there was another one standing at my doorway just watching him watch me type vibes. You feel me? So I'm like, nah. So I chased them into this room that I'm in right now, and then they had disappeared. And then my stepmom and my brother and my sister, they were all in the room here, and she says, my stepmom says, they're still getting in, which means there's things that you're doing in your life that will allow legal right for these entities to come into your life, come into your home, come into your work, wherever you at. You know, there's things you're doing that gives them legal right to come and mess with you. You feel me? Then I woke up from that dream, right? Let me see. So in another dream, I saw, let me see. Okay, so this Middle Eastern looking guy, right? He came like I don't know, probably like 40, 50 years old. He came like maybe like a 20-year-old dude or whatever, and was like, hey, we need your help because my son is trapped. Like he's drowning right now. He's in a pool and he's drowning. So I'm like, all right, B, you know, I'll come and help you. Next thing you know, boom, we end up at a pool, right? And the kid is in the water just like splashing around, splashing. I'm like, all right, now I didn't get in the water. The guy didn't get in the water, but the younger, with the son, like the 20-year-old, he got in the water, you know, and he was swimming over, like he was trying to go help dude or whatever, right? Well, all of a sudden, this little dude that we were supposed to go help, all of a sudden, like he just stops flailing around, and like he's looking directly at me like this, like if you can imagine, like in the water, he's looking at me just like this, all right? And then in that moment, I knew these people that called me weren't human. So I look over at the older one, and I was just about to say, in the name of Jesus, but I just got to and then he dips, like, and the dream switches, right? Now we're back in my house. And the younger one is coming, like the 20-year-old is coming over to me, like, hey, you know, trying to kiss me. And then I knew, like, he was like going to do some weird junk to my neck or whatever. I'm like, bro, like, you feel me, chill, like, you know? And whenever these things happen, by the way, y'all got to call down the name of Jesus Christ on these things that make them flee ASAP, right? And in the most recent dream I had, I just tell the demonic part. Like, if any of y'all live in, let's say, Lauderhill, Florida, you know, shallow side, me and my wife, we was just by, you know, we was by a corner store, right? And all of a sudden, like, I see this, like, it's like a hammer. It's like a weird, like, cupcake shaped hammer, and it kept like banging on the you know, the pavement right in the middle of the street, just banging on it. And then I seen like from under the concrete, you can see like something is circling around where it's like, you know, banging at. It was kind of like, it was weird. It was like a snake. I'm like, how are you that powerful? You feel me? Like, but anyways, and then I look up, bro. Some say, you know, oh, you know, that's what the devil looks like. But then, you know, it may have been the devil, or it may have been a like a demon of the devil. You feel me? Like, I'm talking about like that red face with the teeth, and he had a horn right here and two there, like, you feel me? Just like, and he was just looking and smiling down on what was going on, you know? And then, you know, I grabbed my wife's hand, and then, you know, I was like, all right, bro, let's dip. You feel me? Let's, you know, let's dip. Whatever. Let me see. One time, and this is even before I got baptized, though, I had quit UPS, like, because I used to work there. And anybody that know me that used to, you know, I used to, like, unload trucks or whatever. And, like, I'm talking about, like, and if you work at UPS, like, you know, bro, it ain't easy, like, being no unloader, right? But I used to wear, like, a specific uniform, aka sweats and boots, right? So I quit. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm done, you know, because, like, the Lord blessed me with a job. You know, we'll talk about that in another video or whatever. But I quit. And one night in the dream space, because that's when they come at you, in the dream space, right? I'm at my door, like, I'm at my front door, right? And I look through the window. It's my uniform looking up. It's outside just looking up at me like this, you know, except, like, in the face, it had the hoodie on. All this was just darkness, and it was just there looking at me, just looking, like, not saying nothing, not moving, not, it was just looking at me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going back to bed, you know, even though, you know, I was in bed, but that was crazy, right? That was crazy. Yeah, I know. So I know a lot of us is guilty of this, especially if you work overnights at places. Falling asleep sometimes. You know, raise your hands out there if you ever fell asleep at work. And now this is like after I fell asleep, you know, like, I mean, after I got baptized or whatever. So I'm sleeping in a particular place. I won't say, you know, just in case, you know, but I fell asleep or whatever. And all of a sudden, this dude bust in the office, right? And then I'm not gonna say whose office, but bust in the office, and was like trying to come in, you know, like attack me or whatever. And then, you know, I jumped out of my sleep, like, yo, what was that? But then guess what? I was still asleep, because in the dream my feet were on the floor. But I remembered when I went to sleep, I had my feet like up on the you know, chair or whatever. And so I'm like, all right, I'm still in the dream. All of a sudden, this dude comes back again. I'm like, okay, all right, that's weird, right? The next thing you know, like in another, you know, because like I said, I fell asleep a few times. You feel me? So just, you know, but yeah, like I was in my work truck with my little brother, and we was just there talking, and all of a sudden, I don't know, something just made me look over towards the building where I work at, and there was like a lady standing there, and like she had on like a white, I don't know if it was a whole dress, like a white dress or whatever, but she looks directly into the vehicle from, like, let's say 10-15 feet away. She didn't move her lips. She just simply said, "Do you trust me?" And in that moment, like, all of a sudden, you know, because I've been practicing, you know, speaking in the spirit. That happened, like, you know, I'm not, you know, and I instantly woke up, like, yo, because I know, like, I've never heard stories of, like, you know, God's beings, you know, angels coming down and asking people, like, hey, bro, do you trust me? Like, because that's weird to me. You feel me? Like, yo, like, what? Like, you feel me? So, you know, I kind of been on the fence about that particular one, whether it was an angel or whether it was you know, a demonic thing, you know, because I realized, like, all the demonic situations that's happened to me, they've always come in human form. They've never actually come in, you know, the demonic form, you know, their true face. They've never shown their true face. They've always come as humans, right? Now this particular one, it's not nothing like demonic or nothing. Another time, I fell asleep again, right? And I saw myself in a place where I'd be sitting at, and it's like I was just floating up, right? Just floating, and I stopped. And then there was like it was almost like a hieroglyphic, but there was a guy like on one knee and he's doing like this. It was like a black guy, big beard, and like clearly black, and he looked quite biblical. I'll say it that way. I don't know what that means. I don't know. But yeah, that was a crazy situation. It's like I know I've had like a few more situations go down. I'm trying to like remember a specific incident. Let me see. I know y'all like, hey, bro, come on with the video, bro. Like, what you doing, bro? But hey, man, if I don't remember, I don't remember. I know my wife gonna be like, what you mean remember? Just remember, like, because she's a word police. Shout out to her, by the way. You feel me? But, yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean, I guess those were the moments that I remember in regards to, weird dream situations that took place. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Catholics, don't be mad at me. But I seen what I seen, bro. Like, I seen it. You feel me? So, back in 2012, let's say, when I was dabbling in like that new age type mindset, lifestyle, or whatever, oh, let me go learn the astral project and whatever. Like one day, like literally, like I'm sleeping on my couch, right? Actually, I wasn't even sleeping. I remember just laying there and I closed my eyes. All of a sudden, I seen the Pope, not the current one, but the one before him, right? And this man, like, he opened the front of his robe. It was like a doorway, right? He opened it. And I looked and I seen what some would call the Red Eyes Black Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're familiar with that type of thing, you know what I'm talking about, And I never like really took to that guy's vibe anyway. He was kind of weird to me, like his energy was weird. And then for me to see that in a I don't know, it wasn't a dream, whatever you would call it, like a vision, I guess. That kind of confirmed some things for me, in regards to why I prefer non-denominational and to move like Christ move, But I think like, yeah, that was mainly the most of my situations. But ever since then, bro, like I've been calling on the name of Jesus, before I sleep, when I'm driving to work, when I'm coming home from work, like whatever I'm doing, calling on his name, calling on the blood as well, because the blood protects you. And there was like an accident I was supposed to be in, right? Some months back. But something told me pray. So I started praying in the spirit. And then when I got to that point where, because that was a whole weird situation. But when I reflected on that, I realized that was supposed to be me. That was supposed to happen to me. You feel me? Because, all right, I'm going to just tell it real quick. We got time, right? Y'all got time today? I do. Anyway, so I'm like getting to the point where I'm about to pull into work, right? Turn down that street to go to work or whatever. And there was like a lady. She's at like the stop sign. Like, she could have turned, turn right or whatever, going about her business. But I noticed, I just happened to look at her and she's looking right at me and she's not driving and there's no cars coming. There's nothing in her way, but she's just looking at me. And I'm like, okay, right? So, mind you, like I said, I had prayed already, right? Told me pray. So I prayed in the spirit. I don't know what I said, right? We don't know what we say when we speak in the spirit, but I turned on the street, go to work. Like literally like a second after I turned off for that, out of the intersection or whatever, boom, her car collided with like some other dude's car. Airbags everywhere, like, car parts everywhere. I'm like, bro, like, I just avoided that. Like, you feel me? Because if I would have not been obedient to the Lord and listened and prayed at that point, yeah, yeah. Needless to say, that would have been me. You know. And the Lord has been faithful, even till this day. You know, faithful, like in everything. You know. So, anyways, with that, all that stuff started to happen to me. Like I said, once I got baptized, like, because before you get baptized, like you ain't really dealing in nothing weird like that. You feel me? You just have your common dreams or whatever, da da da. But as soon as I got baptized, that month, everything just started to come against me in the dreams. Da 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 da. And at work as well, you know, like talking about like losing hours out of nowhere, like, you know, hours going to other people that didn't deserve, you know. But what I said was like, yo, I'm leaving it in the hands of the Lord. Like, you know, he knows best and he will take care of it, right? And of course, you know, like what, like a week ago? Yeah, he took care of it. Like I got that plus more, you know? Because again, the Lord is faithful. And if you don't know him, you know, I suggest you go find him, go seek him. Because, yeah, he's truly waiting on you, you know? He's out there. He's waiting on you right now at the door. He's knocking. You hear it? You hear it. I know you do. That little thing inside of you that said, oh, maybe this or maybe that, that's him talking to you, bro. You know, he's not gonna talk to you like in an audible voice, like, yo, bro, you like, you feel me? Like, he ain't gonna do that. Like, you're gonna hear it up here. And of course, like, you know, you're gonna say, oh, was that my thought? Was that him? Or was that the devil? Because that's what we battle daily. That's the three, you know, thoughts or whatever, that sources of thought, I guess, that we battle. It's us, the Lord, and the devil. Which one are you going to listen to? And you got to know how to discern to know who's talking to you, you know? But with that, my friends, my anointed crew, that's what I call y'all. You know, if y'all subscribing to me, you know, you guys are the anointed crew as well as I. But I just want to say I love y'all. The Lord loves y'all. Seek his face. Read his word daily, you know. Become strong in the word daily, because trust me, that it's very powerful. It's very powerful, right? It changes lives. It's changed my life. Ask my wife. Go ask her. Go ask her. Look me up on Instagram, right? You know my Instagram. Go find my wife. Look me up on Facebook. Ask her. You know, I was already a decent person, but like now I'm moving in the Lord's way, and like you know, he's in command right now. So, you know, because what? Heaven, bro, heaven. That's what it's about. Eternal life, bro. That's what it's about. You feel me? Forget all this earthly stuff, because that's all perishing away. You know, it's all material and what's the word my captain used that one time? Finite, right? He said we're finite beings. In the flesh, yes, we are, but in the spirit, we're eternal. But where will you spend your eternity? You know, that is the question. Heaven or hell? Because there's no in between. Sorry, Catholics, but there's no in between. Like, I mean, if you can find it in the Bible and show it to me, then I'll believe it. But other than that, no. You know, but yeah, man. I love y'all again. This is your boy, OG Benjamin. And this has been, you know, my story on being demonically attacked by, you know, weird entities after my baptism, right? All right, y'all boys and girls, y'all go seek the Lord, okay? All right, I'm about to go do some stuff, like wash some dishes or whatever, you know. Be a good husband.